I believe that the left is going all out to undermine the incoming president. I do believe that the delegitimized Trump movement is gathering momentum. Look at this. There are 43 Democrats, it may now be 44, in Congress who've said we're not going to attend the inauguration. This is a very far cry from when Al Gore did attend the George W. Bush inauguration after a very tough election loss. He was very conciliatory. Very different now. Joining us is John Ashcroft. He is the former Attorney General. He was the Attorney General under George W. Bush. Mr. Attorney General, thank you very much for being with us today at a very important moment. I'm going all out here saying that the fabric of democracy is being undermined by this intense effort to delegitimize President Trump. Am I going too far?
Well, let me put it this way. Many of those who are choosing not to participate, and of course they have a right to choose not to participate. They have a right to protest, and the protesters, I think, not only have a right to protest, but the people who, the leftist groups that are funding these protesters, have a right to do it. But it's interesting to me that they are playing into the hands of those who would destabilize or devalue our constitutional democracy. They're saying one of the reasons they're protesting is that there was Russian involvement in the election. Well, what the Russians really wanted to do in our election was to destabilize and devalue our democracy, and the protesters find themselves advancing the cause of the Russians in this setting to make our election seem in some way, to some of the world perhaps, less legitimate. Of course, the American public, I think, knows what happened in the election. They know that Donald Trump won the election. So it's an unprecedented effort to devalue the capacity of a president to carry into place an agenda that the American people have endorsed. And in a strange and anomalous way, it reinforces what they were protesting, which was Russian involvement in our election.
What about the inauguration itself? There are plans for huge demonstrations. There could be violence. I think that is an attempt to spoil the inauguration and add to the delegitimizing of Donald Trump's presidency. Again, am I going too far with this?
Oh, I think there's no question about the fact that people who can't accept the fact that the election didn't go their way are seeking to disrupt and to take any value they can away from Donald Trump, the president-elect, and who will soon be the president of the United States. I think there is a component of backfiring in what they're doing, because I think the American people disrespect this kind of effort to pull the rug out from under our constitutional democracy. And we have a long tradition. This is unprecedented. We've all witnessed a lot of various elections and so-called injustices, but we have never seen any response like this before. And the peaceful transition of one administration to another is the hallmark of what we're about as a country. And those who seek to disrupt that are really denying what America has a great tradition of doing, being a unique place in the world that respects the people's vote.
That's why I'm here. Mr. Attorney General John Ashcroft, thank you very much for joining us, sir. We appreciate your presence. Thank you.